Yo. Hello. Sorry, that was an aggressive yo. Yo, what's going on? Hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening, friends. What up, England? It's got to be late over in England, right? Xochipilli, South Texas. Shout out. South Texas, huh? I've been to South Texas one time. I can't remember where I went, though. I can tell you, though. I bet right now. I went to a festival called South by So What? South by So What? It says Dallas. It definitely wasn't in Dallas. What year was that? That had to have been 2000. I don't know. Somewhere. Anyways. Hello, everybody. Ohio. My first job was in Ohio. I'm connected to every place somehow. My next trip to India will be March of next year. I'm going to go, I think, to Thailand. Maybe. I don't know about Thailand for sure yet. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to go to Philippines and I don't know, somewhere in Asia, in that part of Asia, before I come to India. And then I'm going to be in India all of March and April. Would you see a Tupac hologram show? Yeah, I'd see a Tupac hologram show. I mean, I don't know. It depends how much. If it was fairly priced, if it was like, I don't know, $40 tops, I wouldn't pay more than 40. You might be able to get 50 out of me. What are your thoughts on spiritual materialism? Spiritual materialism. In what way? Like wearing mala beads and dressing a certain way? What do you mean by spiritual materialism? Did Jose from Arcana go to India with me? Yeah, he went to India with me. How tall am I? I hover over everyone in India. I don't really hover over everyone in India. People in India are short. I'm very short too. Do you fully believe in God? Yeah, I fully believe in God. I fully believe in God. I think that there is some strange, unusual, unspeakable energy that is creating everything. And that thing is eternal. And that thing is intelligent and conscious. And it's just this pureness. And ultimately, that thing is us too, somewhere deep down inside of us. And I think like that's what we call God sometimes. Me and Tom collaborating soon, hopefully. I love Tom. I'd like to collaborate with Tom again. Hey, I had really good videos me and Tom filmed in India. I had so many good. I just had to. My hard drive crashed. Long story short, and I lost all this amazing footage that I had been filming in Thailand, and I could have swore I had it somewhere else, but I've been looking everywhere and I can't find it. And I had to just send in this hard drive into some company that hopefully will be able to get it back, the footage. They said it could cost up to $1,800 during this live stream. Did we freeze for a second right there? We just froze for a minute. Is that balaclava beanie? No, this is a different one. I wish this one was a balaclava one, though. This is a good color. I didn't mean to say A like a Canadian there, sorry. These accents, you can't hear me? Check, 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 check. Oh shit, you scared me. Someone said they couldn't hear me, and it's because this happened last time. Oops. Last time, like, my people just couldn't hear me anymore. A place for humans. Teeny, thank you so much for the donation. Yo, I'm gonna block all you guys that say you can't hear me, unless you really can't hear me. Teeny weeny coming in with the dakini. Every other syllable? God damn. Solange, thank you so much. To put towards getting this footage back. That's what I was trying to say. There's a lot of good footage on there. Solange, before I answer your question, let me just sit here and reminisce in a slight sadness publicly. Okay. What are your thoughts on ketamine? Have you ever done it? I've done ketamine one time when I was like 20. It's a long time ago. And I snorted it off of a key in a nightclub. And I didn't do enough to like it made me really slow. That's all I remember. I know some people have very profound experiences with it. I've never used it. I've never used it in that kind of way, you know. But I've heard the stories, you know. I know it can induce very profound experiences, out of body experiences. I know it can produce very spiritual experiences and give you a sense of this reality being sort of not all there is, which I guess is kind of what these medicines or these drugs do, is they kind of show you that, hey, you think that the experience you're having right now is the foundation of reality, but that's actually a trick, because watch this. Boom, now you're in another reality. And then when you go to sleep, you're in another reality. And then every single time you enter into these new realities, you think it's you surrender to it, you know? You say, "Oh no, this is it." And then you jump to the next one, you say, "Oh no, that one is it." And I know like these medicines, these drugs will show you like the infinite potential and the infinite realities that exist not only within you but like outside of you too. And yeah, I know ketamine can be very spiritual for people. That's pretty much my thoughts on it. I don't have too many crazy thoughts on it because I don't have any experience with it myself. But yeah, you know, I think like anything that can put you in an altered state of consciousness and show you that what you think is you is actually kind of not you is a good experience to undergo. I think we should all be at least trying to have these initiations a few times in our lives, because I think it's an important experience to look out into the world and to look out into the world room, or by taking ketamine, or through a deep meditation practice, or through deep breath work, And there look out into the world right now in our normal state, and we see what we see. We see the normal stuff that we see every day when we're cleaning up our rooms, or we're doing this, or we're doing our daily routines. But when you use one of these compounds and you look out into the same world, it becomes something different. It becomes like a world that is full of spiritual meaning, of color, of infinite depth. Like, you can look at one object and see it from so many different perspectives. And not that you can't do that without those substances, but they certainly help to get you directly into a place where it's like, if you want to get straight to the nitty gritty, those are good tools. Have you ever had a spiritual experience with alcohol? I don't really drink very often. I've been drunk only a handful of times in my life, less than 10, probably. No, I don't think I have had a spiritual experience with alcohol, but I think, well, not that I think, I know you can. You can have a spiritual experience with alcohol. Why not? It can be used that way. Alcohol is a demon. Yeah, I mean, demon doesn't necessarily mean evil or bad. It just kind of means spirit, disembodied creature, an entity. And we can use these entities for our benefit. We can befriend them, or we can use them, or we can make pacts with them, or we can allow them to take us over. And that's what addiction is in a lot of ways. And it's not always the person's fault. Addiction can be hauntings from previous lives. You can have an addiction in this life because of an addiction your ancestor had a couple lifetimes ago, and it's just kind of, it's still, that ghost is still sort of just crawling its way like a parasite interdimensionally from lifetime to lifetime. And a lot of our traumas work like that, actually. A lot of our traumas come from our ancestors a long time ago, because if you think of your traumas, a lot of us would say, like, hey, that comes from my family, it comes from my parents. And if you spoke with your parents, they would say the same thing, and if you spoke with their parents, they would say the same thing. And it's just this pain echoing throughout history. And it turns into many expressions. It turns into addictions, it turns into anger, um it turns into hypersexuality. It turns into an inflated ego. It turns into many things, and it's not only bad things too. It can turn into a good work ethic. It can turn you into a strong person because you now know what not to do. I would love to come back to Nagaland again. What are my thoughts on Sadhguru? Sadhguru is an interesting person. I like Sadhguru because I like his charisma, I like the way he dresses, and he kind of fulfills this hole in my heart that I have for a grandfatherly enlightened figure that has just kind of got all the answers. And he plays that character, and he plays it really good, and I love that he has just something to say for everything. But for me, I I appreciate Sadhguru, but for me, it's very soccer mom spirituality. And I'm sure if you spoke with Sadhguru on a various videos that I see on YouTube and stuff like that, it's very soccer mom spirituality and very surface level. And I feel like sometimes I don't like that he can't say, "Hey, I don't know." Like when people talk to him about ayahuasca and they ask his opinions, I do appreciate when people say, "Hey, I've never tried that before. I don't have like a very strong opinion on it. I can talk about it if you want me to talk about it, but like, um, yeah, I don't really know." I like when people say that kind of stuff when they're honest. But Sadhguru has an answer for everything, and it's cool. I would love to go visit his ashram in India one day. I did go to Akshardam. Excuse me, guys. I don't know why I'm so yelly tonight. God damn. Yeah, I went to that mandir in Delhi. It's very beautiful, very nice. And Delhi to me, I love Delhi. I always love walking around Delhi and just hanging out. I only really know that part of Delhi, like the CP area. I know Paharganj, CP, Janpath. I know a little bit over by like India Gate, Red Fort, uh, Kashmiri Gate, and like the Tibetan market. I mean, I know a little bit of Delhi. I know my way around a little bit, but really, I only know that area of CP, Paharganj, and Janpath. Like I could walk around no problem and know where I was at. And what else is there in Delhi? Is that the best area? Are there other areas? I'm up late. It's only 8 o'clock here. Oh, so we just lost some light. Were you not scared of losing your self-awareness whenever you tried these different substances? It's what kind of holds me off from trying these things. Maybe I love control too much. Yeah, well, this is the test to really have a breakthrough experience in anything in life, not just using any of these substances. You have to kind of remove this idea or surrender to the idea that you really aren't in control. Yeah, you feel like you're in control. You feel like you're going to go into your car, drive to the store, yada, yada, yada. But there's so many factors in between that you're not in control of. This idea, this plan that you have in your head, you're not in control. Your ego just, this is what ego is you have this illusion that you are in control of something and you're not in control of anything. You're not even in control of your body, your body's just changing and growing and decaying and getting sick. And, you know, really the only thing you do is you get to choose what kind of fuel you want to put in it, or if you want to go left or right. But even then, those factors, there's so many different factors that inspired you to make those decisions that, you could honestly argue that you didn't even have a choice in making those decisions. So, what were we talking about? Thank you, Nico. Sorry, I missed that. Thank you, Nico. You have a serious question? Okay. I have a not serious answer. How do you stop demons taking you over during a strong shroom trip? Well, I would just suggest stop taking them if you get possessed like that every time you take them. Or you need to learn how to create like a force field around yourself, a spiritual force field. And I would suggest that you do very deep spiritual practice, very deep meditation, very deep yoga, very deep self-discipline. And through this, you'll have more control. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like a demonologist or like a poltergeist, but this will help you in any circumstance of your life. That advice. Don't believe your drugged up mind. Yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it. But for me, like, in my basic understanding of chemistry, I just look at myself now being my drugged up mind. Should I trust myself now? I mean, my experience right now, or a schizophrenic's experience, or bipolar, or all the spectrum of experiences that people are having, we're all having different experiences. This is chemistry. This is just biochemistry of different concoctions of compounds and substances running throughout your body that produce an experience and produce a thought and effect. And should we trust them? I don't know. I don't know which one to trust. Which state is the real state? Oh, sorry. What are my thoughts on Shiva? Well, for me, I think of two Shivas, and there's got to be some Indians in here watching me. I'm curious to hear what you Indians think about my interpretation of Shiva. So, this is not scriptural, this is just how I see it in my head. There's the little Shiva and there's the big Shiva. There is the little Shiva, which is the Shiva that was physical in the real world, that was the Adi yogi, the first yogi, the first person to go into enlightenment, the first person to become self-realized, the first guru, you know. This is the small Shiva. And then there's the big Shiva, which is everything, which is the source of all things. This is Shiva. When we say Om Namah Shivaya, this is what we're talking to. We're saying the source of all that is, the foundation of reality, that which transcends all things and creates all things and destroys all things, is Shiva. So I see it as two things. Not really two things, they're one thing, but they're two expressions of one thing. There's the story of Shiva that we use to understand spiritual concepts, you know, the Shiva that meditates in the mountains and stuff like that. This is just this is to help us understand spiritual concepts in the way of pictures and stories. Get up there, Stas. You can lay down up there. Sorry, my dog's name is Applesauce. Do you play Mobile Legend? No, I don't play any games. I play UFC on PS5 sometimes. That's about it. UFC 4. What are my thoughts on ayahuasca? I think ayahuasca is very interesting. I think I don't want to say it's hyped up because I don't believe that it's hyped up. I think that it's just like trendy. I think it's just trendy. I think you see these people talking about ayahuasca. I've done ayahuasca for like 40 times, maybe even more. And I don't know, I just don't see it in the way that these other people see it. Like when someone like these people go to a week ayahuasca retreat and they say, "Oh my god, my entire life is changed. I had like it was like a miracle." And yeah, I guess it changes your life, but like I don't know. I appreciate ayahuasca. I appreciate the experience. I honestly appreciate the ceremony more than anything. I could just sit in the ceremony without the medicine and really go very deep within myself. Um, but for me, praising ayahuasca as being the top medicine and everyone needs to go to Peru and take it. I mean, it's a great experience. If you need some healing and you need to go through some kind of treatment and you're on your wits end, this can be an option. Um, but for me, for someone that's just kind of a spiritual explorer, a consciousness, um, a consciousness astronaut, a psychonaut, I guess that's what they call it. Uh, Mushrooms is fulfilling for me. You know, it's very sustainable. They grow everywhere. Um, It's easy to dose. You know what it is. It doesn't require any cooking or anything like that. Um, I think you should always do it in a ceremonial context, perhaps with a shaman when it's available. But with mushrooms, I think you can learn a little bit easier how to navigate that world without the need of a shaman. Where ayahuasca, you really need a shaman. And I mean, I don't mean to downplay ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a very powerful medicine, and it will give you what you're looking for. And I've been blessed by ayahuasca very deeply, and I just think it demands respect. And I don't really see so much respect in the spiritual community with ayahuasca. I see it being just kind of an exotic experience, and um, which is cool too. Hey, if you want to go have an exotic experience with some tribes in the jungle and you take some medicine and trip out, why not? I think there's not only one way to live life. Do what you want to do, however you want to do it. So I don't know. I have many thoughts on it. I can honestly see it from every way. My thoughts on iboga, my thoughts on ayahuasca, my thoughts on mushrooms are all the same. These are powerful medicines. I respect them deeply. I think if you are interested in pursuing the shamanic path, the path of the medicine, then walk it sincerely. It's not a path that you tiptoe on or that you kind of dance or play musical chairs with. If you want to experience it, you dive fully into it, and that's the way that you'll get the benefits. That's the way that you'll learn. And that's the way that you'll see a glimpse into the world of the shamans, and into just some strange world that our ancestors were probably tuned into a lot more than we are today. I don't know what a skinwalker is. Is that an alien? Skinwalker. Either that place called Skinwalker Ranch or something. I've heard it. I don't know what it is, but I've heard that term. It just sounds like what some hillbilly said out in like West Virginia or something. Them goddamn skinwalkers. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. Who would win? They're talking about fighting in MMA. Dana White was talking about it. They're trying to make it happen. I think Elon Musk is probably a couple weight classes above Mark Zuckerberg, but Mark Zuckerberg is an actual he trains in jujitsu, and he doesn't like he competes in jujitsu. I think Zuckerberg would take Elon Musk. No offense to Musk, but I think Zuckerberg would take him. And I want Elon Musk to win. I would love to see Elon Musk win, but I think Zuckerberg would win, and it would be so embarrassing for Elon Musk that I think the world might end. Yeah, he does jujitsu for real. Zuckerberg's probably a skinwalker. Talk about skinwalkers. Dude looks like he's wearing skin. I mean, we're all wearing skin, but he looks like he's wearing skin, if you know what I mean, like someone else's. His face is all stretched like a lizard. Takes sips of his water all strange. Like a lizard. Yeah, that Elon Musk smoking that joint was not a good look. No, it was okay. I appreciate Elon Musk for hitting that joint. I was watching that on YouTube live back when Joe Rogan used to be live on YouTube when he would stream the the podcasts as they were happening. And I watched that one as it happened. And I remember when Elon Musk smoked that, I was like, holy shit, Joe Rogan just got Elon Musk to smoke weed on his podcast. And ever since then, it's just been, it's just been a strange world we've been in. He didn't inhale. He doesn't have to, okay? He's Elon Musk. He inhales the blood of children all day for all of us so that we can have iPhones and Teslas. You think Vishnu came as the Buddha and Krishna as Christ. It's an interesting way to look at it, but ultimately there's one thing that creates all of them, whatever that energy is. And I think if we can trace that energy, we can have some strange realizations about our place in the universe. Yo, what up, Paul? What up, Paul? We was walking in the mall in the middle of fall. The leaves were turning brown everywhere on the ground. My boy Paul was in town. That was for you, Paul. Thoughts on Graham Hancock? Well, he's cool. He's charismatic. I like the way he talks. He really is a storyteller, intrigues you, and then takes you in on a little imagination adventure every time he speaks. And yeah, I like his work. I think he's cool. I like what he's doing out there in the world. I like that he's starting big conversations about human history. He's definitely inspired me. I mean, I've spent more time at Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe probably than he has. And he was a big inspiration for that. You know, I lived there for months out of my life, right by those sites. And I mean, I've been in Göbekli Tepe when it was closed. You know, just private by myself. Beans, thank you, Beans. Do you still keep in touch with Duncan Trussell? A little bit. Not. It's not like me and Duncan were never like really good friends or anything like that. I've always just been kind of a fan of Dunkel. I've always been a fan of Uncle Duncan. Dunkel. I like Duncan Trussell, and he, I think, knows that I kind of look up to him, and he just is nice to me. So yeah, sometimes we keep in touch. He just says what's up, and I sent him some stuff one time from Peru. I bought him some gifts for him and his wife, and yeah, I spent a weekend with them when they got married in Hawaii, and yeah, I know them a little bit, and I like them a lot. I like Duncan. He's one of my favorite comedians. I love when he's on the Rogan podcast. I love his Netflix show that he did, The Midnight Gospel. And I hope I can continue to work with him one day on other projects and podcasts. And I would love to get to be more of a friend with him and, yeah, work with him on stuff. I'd love to work with him on something. He's got like such a interesting and fun mind, and I like it because he's like fucked up and dark and kind of like perverted, but also spiritual in a Ramdas satsang. And uh, yeah, he's awesome. And he's got a good laugh. That's right. How do I feel about LSD today? today as in this moment or today in my life? I feel okay about it. Like I said earlier in this chat, I support all of these medicines. Anything that expands your mind and helps you achieve some kind of spiritual clarity and spiritual realizations, I say go for it, sister. Rock it. Meditate, take LSD, whatever works for you. Just do it with beautiful intentions, with spiritual intentions. Is today's acid the same as the 60s? I don't know. I'm not around. Probably not. I mean, you hear that, right? People say like, "Oh, back in the 60s, this was acid was crazy." Um, yeah, I have no idea. I honestly haven't taken acid very much, and I think maybe twice in my life or something, 3 times, 4 times, maybe 5 times. Honestly, could be 6, 7, 8 times. I've had some of my most crazy experiences on acid. I feel like it might be they're all actually very powerful, but acid can give you some very very profound experiences like astral projections and just deep insights about your life. You know, I feel like I've only astral projected once in my life, and it was on acid. You guys hear that noise? Earliest memory and one of your favorite musical artists as of right now. My earliest memory. What's my earliest memory? Oh, that's a tough question. I don't know. I'm not sure my earliest memory. I have a memory. I can't share that one. That one's kind of fucked up. I don't know. I feel like maybe 5. I start having like some memories around that age, like stronger memories, like really, more. It's heavier in the 5-ish age. Um, and some of my favorite musical artists today. I really love the 1975. Joni Mitchell. She's one of my favorite artists. She's a little old now, but I recommend checking her out, going through her discography. Let me look. I'll look at my Spotify right now. Tell you what I've been listening to. Oh yeah, Nova Amor. I like that band. The Highwaymen. Johnny Cash. Japanese House. Simon Garfunkel. Simon and Garfunkel. The Paper Kites. Um, what else? Oh, Mike Swift from Philippines. Shout out to Mike Swift from the Philippines. Bhagwan Das. George Harrison. Kanye West. Justin Bieber. I listen to it all. Thoughts about Putin declaring war today? I didn't even hear about that. What did he say? Thoughts on the English language. Mhm. It's very descriptive. Um, I don't have any specific thoughts on English, but I think language in general is very interesting because language is like a way to conjure it's a way to conjure. We use language as a way to build and extract things. Like I look at we can mine resources from a mountain. Well, we can mine resources from the imagination. And I look at language as being one of the tools for us to mine these resources out of the mountain of imagination. That if we can find the right words to say, the right combination, then we can build large hadron colliders. We can build rockets. We can build the internet. We can build airplanes and cars and all of the amazing things that we have accomplished as human beings. And it all comes back to language. And even more beyond that, language, in a way, is what creates the illusion of reality itself. It binds and ties us to a linguistic hallucination in which produces the reality that we see in front of us. Is a tree a tree? Is this bottle a bottle? These are just things, these are just sounds that we use to describe the world. We confuse the world with the way we describe it, Alan Watts once said. The soil and tree are not two separate things. They're actually the same thing, just appearing separate through the illusion of language, through the hallucination of words. And I always find that really interesting. Salvia, I'm not big on chasing the psychedelic medicine experience these days. I feel like I'll use it when I am interested and like when I feel a calling towards it. But I'm not so much interested in like going to make videos about my experience and these kind of things anymore and go deeper, maybe in my own time. But like I've really lost my energy to film myself in that kind of way. I even kind of find it to be a drag to talk about it on live streams and YouTube videos. I know that's what people want me to talk about, so I talk about it still. And I don't mind, it is very interesting to me and it's a conversation. I mean, it's like, it inspires some of the fundamental questions of reality itself, these psychedelic conversations. And I mean political conversations, and there's so many talking points that can be brought up through the psychedelic experience. And so I appreciate it, and I do see it as a form of social and spiritual activism and as a tool of self growth and spiritual progression. I see it as a positive thing altogether that we are beginning to connect with these medicines in this kind of way. I think it's a very good sign that our society is doing that and starting to push in that direction. I think that's a I think that's a sign that things are healing. When we look out to the world, it seems a little chaotic and crazy sometimes. So when I see things like Colorado or here where I live in Detroit, Ann Arbor, just a city away, they decriminalized psychedelics. So there is progress happening, and it's very interesting time to get to witness this. I see just as much chaos. I see the progress coming in, fighting and trying to maintain balance and order. Is there anything specific pressing on my mind? Yeah, that I lost all this footage I had filmed. So please, Pray for me. Pray that these people that I sent the footage that I sent the external hard drive to can fix it, and that they can retrieve the footage, and that it's not $1,800. Hopefully, they give me a discount. Like, I don't know. I'll be happy if it's $500. Do I fuck? Uh, well, there's been moments in my life, you know, I've had mediocre sex here and there. Spread some, you know, embarrassing orgasms around the world. What do you think about the future of human evolution? It's an interesting question. Human evolution, I think, is very much tied to the evolution of the planet, the evolution of the ecosystems all around the world, and I think we can see that. We can see that as the climate changes, as the ecosystems change, you see human behavior begin to change. People are panicking, or people get distressed when they look out and they see the forests are being cut down, or the rivers are polluted, or the skies are polluted. There's lots of challenges, but I think the earth is going through some kind of evolution. The earth is going through a shift in its seasons, and it's pushing us through that into a new time. And I think humans in our evolution, we are entering a new time, a new era. And I think in this era, well, this is the technological age. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think lots are going to change in our lives from here on out. We're going to see technology become way crazy. It's going to be fully integrated into our lives, even more so than it is now. You're going to be talking to your rooms. Hey, whatever you name your room. My dog's name is Lumpy, so maybe I name my room Lumpy after he passes away. Hey, Lumpy, turn the light on, and lock the door. Turn the music to this channel. Whatever, you're going to be talking to each room in your house this way, and this is just one little thing. Technically, we could do this now. It's actually not a bad idea if someone in here wants to invent that. You put little speakers in your room and allow people to talk to it through an AI system where you can ask it questions, and kids would love that. Little kids would just love to sit there and talk to their room. These things are going to happen. And then you see Elon Musk talking about like Neuralink and this kind of stuff, and it's going to be so interesting. Okay, so you think our evolution is being linked to nature, and how, well, obviously it's linked to nature, as nature changes, we change with it. That is what evolution is. But what's going to happen when we have this new factor in play of technology? Who knows? Like, where is this going to guide our evolution? Back to the matrix, back to the motherboard, back to the enlightened state of pure potential, like just some electric state of just like anything that wants to exist can exist just in this holographic universe that we've created. I think we're returning to the technological enlightenment. What if technology keeps progressing and then a solar flare happens? I don't know. We'll find out. It's Maya. Yeah, it's all Maya, right? Ultimately, it's all an illusion. And anything that's temporary is an illusion. That's what I've always loved about Hinduism. is that like, wow, we are so focused on all the drama, we're so focused on this and this, and the Hindu that really understands it will just kind of smile because they know that like the truth is eternal. Why focus on any of the stuff that's changing? Don't attach to the changing stuff. It's changing. You can't attach to it. If your identity is attached to the changing stuff, then you're going to be constantly in a fluctuation of emotions because you're always changing. So seek out the eternal. The Hindus have many words for this. Brahma, Atma, Shiva. Seek this out and devote your life to it, and you'll find happiness that way. Help you get back on track with spiritual life. Well, you can't fall off the spiritual path. This is kind of like this is the cute game the ego plays, is that you can fall off the spiritual path. You can't fall off the path because actually that is the practice actually. Like people think like, oh, I'm having a good time right now. I'm happy. I'm in love. Everything's going good in my life. I'm spiritual. And then it gets hard and they feel like they're not spiritual anymore. But actually, that's when the practice matters the most. And it's testing you. You're being put in a position where you're spiritual no matter what. That spirituality is always there. It's just whether you want to engage in it or not engage with it. So, you thinking you are off the path is just an opportunity for you to realize that this is showing you how it's showing you how where your weaknesses are. You're not off the path, you're just being shown your weaknesses. I don't play FIFA. I don't play any mobile games. I listened to some of it, Cameron, with Duncan and Joe Rogan's podcast, the recent one. I didn't finish it because it's very long, like 3 hours or something. But yeah, I listened to some of it, and their furry costumes. Skylar says, if you want to get spiritual, take a poo in the forest daily. Uh, yeah, I can see that. That's good. There's definitely one way to connect with nature is to do that. You're not fully wrong. Do I lucid dream? Yeah, sometimes I lucid dream. Not very often, but there's been some very intense lucid dreams. It's so strange when you're like, damn, I'm dreaming right now. I'm in a dream. Yeah, it's a trippy experience. It's like a fractal. And honestly, that's what spiritual awakening is. Spiritual awakening is just becoming lucid that you are in a dream. You know, we practice to lucid dream in our dreams. Spiritual practice is to lucid dream in this dream. That's what spiritual practice is. No, I can't do it at will. I can't lucid dream at will. Do you think psychedelics can make you go crazy? Yeah, I think so. Sure, why not? If you have There's not for everybody. And strict discipline. I mean, traditionally, this is the way that it's done, and I think, like, yeah, it can make you go crazy if you don't use it that way. You are the dreamer. How did I get into your dream? It's an interesting question, Harnam. I ask the same thing to you as you watch me here on your screen. How did I get into your dream? What about me are you dreaming? What is the message that you need, that you are creating me to tell you for? The message is, it's okay. Relax. It'll all be over soon, and it'll all be a very beautiful memory. Everyone you love is waiting for you. Hallelujah. What is my favorite substance? Do mame milkshakes count? Yo, you people from the US don't know much about mames. Ooh. I was living in Mexico City, and there was this little lady outside my apartment who made milkshakes and smoothies and I don't know, a couple other things maybe, I don't know. And every morning I'd have her make me un licuado de mame, and my God. I actually every day since I've just taken a moment of silence just to think about it for a second. Licuados de mame are the best milkshakes on the planet. Highly recommended. Why does the spiritual path suck sometimes? That's a very funny way to put it. And it sucks sometimes because it's sucks to like confront your bullshit. It sucks to drop your attachments and to take accountability and to say like to like say like, hey, sometimes I'm a problem and I need to change. Do you plan on residing in Detroit for the rest of your life? No, no, I don't. I don't really live here very often. I'm only here a month out of the year or something. All right, guys, we've been doing this live stream for an hour. I'm gonna go play some UFC 4 on PS5. If anybody has it, you can add me on PS5. Chaikuni, 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 PS5. Your boy's on there. Come get knocked out. Love you guys. Thank you so much for chilling with me. Let's talk soon. Another live stream tomorrow, hopefully. God bless your families.